Okay, hello everybody and welcome to part 12 of our MiniArt M3 lead tank build. So in part 11 we finished with doing the wheels on the tank, and there they are there. We also, I've done the little brackets that go across. There's like little supports, two on each to go all the way around. That's okay, that's not meant to be glued on yet. So there's all our wheels on, and they all turn, which is good. So hopefully the tracks will run across them as well. So now what we've got to do is do the part I've been dreading, which is the links for the tracks themselves. And that's what I got here. So I showed them in the last video, but here's the packet here of the little connection points. There's two on each one. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24 on that one. And we've got like a dozen or more in there. They've all got to be cut off and cleaned up, each individual one. So, and the same with these. So these are all the actual tracks, and they all have to be taken all off. There's 12 sprues on here. I've started here. So there we've got 2 sprues in there. There's over 300 of them. There will be. What I've done is I've got my nippers here and I've just given them a good clean and oiled them up and make sure they're working in perfect condition, because the closer you can get this, cut these off, the sprue, the less cleanup there's going to be. So I want them right on there. So what I'm doing is going along and just nipping down one side of them all, and then I'll turn it around, hold it over here, and then clip, 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 and they all fall into there. That's half the job. The other half will be going through each one of them and filling up another container with all the sanded, cleaned up individual pieces. So yeah, that's going to be fun, isn't it? So yeah, so anyway, I'm going to do this. Obviously I'm not expecting everybody to watch me do this. This is going to take forever, but we'll clean up one, and as an example, what I'm going to be doing is probably just putting in a new blade. Right, I'll put in a new blade on the knife here and just run that across, and then I may use my glass nanofiber file just to clean it up if that's required as well. We'll see how it goes. When I've done one, I'll let you know which was the best method. Okay, and by the way, all these tools, these and the files, are all from ickysticky.com. The link's in the description below. Great quality modeling equipment, everything you need. All right, so yeah, I'm going to do this. All right, and before I disappear, don't forget, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up and comment if you like the video. And you can also join as well. There's a membership there you can join for the cost of a cappuccino a month. It's not much, but it does help me out a great deal in keeping the channel going with everything I've got happening. And there's other ways to support down in the description below. All right, guys, I'll make a start. We'll come back in a little bit of progress and see where I'm up to. All right, back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So there's all those little pieces in there. If I remember, there's probably about 190 of them. Okay, and what I've done is I've just trimmed 2 of them to go side by side, and then I was going to do another one like I did here to go on top, when I realized that even though all these are the same part number, which is number 79, there are actually 2 types in here. Okay, so one has the hollow or a raised section, like a little raised square in the middle, and the other ones have a hollow. So there's top and bottom. I didn't even notice that. Not that it makes any difference, it's okay, but it just means they've got to keep them separate. So those ones will go on top of these ones. Now, what I've also haven't test fitted yet, but I suppose I should, is that when those two go together like that, we have these pieces on here, which there's about another few hundred of these, right? So we've got one piece and one piece. So we're going to cut them off, and they sit in on that side and on that side and form a pin. All right, and then this will go on top like that. Okay, and that's how they join together all the way along. Very, very fun this is going to be. So what I've discovered is where the connecting sprue is on this piece here, it's on both sides. It is enough with just the Icky Sticky knife, all right, to trim that off smooth enough on both sides without going to the trouble of pulling out my nano file and doing that as well, because they will sit flush, okay, when they're like that, and the tracks go around. They will sit fine enough with just a file. Okay, I might sound like I'm trying to get out of a bit of extra work, and I damn well are, because this is ridiculous. The whole point is that if this was going to be in pristine condition, sitting in the museum floor, like, or brand new off the production line, then sure, no problem. But I'm going to cover these tracks, and I'm going to weather these tracks. I'm going to make them look a bit, you know, rusty and dirty and so forth. So I don't want them looking that perfect, and you're not going to see. All right, just don't tell anyone. All right, so if you want to go ahead and grab a file and do every individual of almost 200 of these on both sides, that's 400 times you've got to do this. Go for it. Go for it. Good on you. All right. I'm not. All right. So I'm going to do all these and just trim them all with a knife. All right. These, I haven't even taken one off yet, but I'm guessing it should be fine to do the same, because the connection point on the sprue has no bearing of how they sit on here. Okay. So it won't matter. Obviously, they're going to look nice and clean, and I will take the little nubs off if there are any, but I'm not going to go filing them to that extreme. All right. So say what you will in comments. I don't care. You know. So having said that, it's really awkward because, you know, where do I find the time? Like, I can't take these down to the swimming pool and lay there on the deck chair and do them, because I'm going to lose them, or I'll cut myself. So yeah, I'm just going to have to find some good music and get into it. Now, because I don't want you guys watching me do all these, because that would be stupid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on in the instructions here. All right. And we'll go over the page to starting work here on this section here and the gun. So I can take these bits off, and I'll slowly work through these in the background. All right. You know, it's just that, you know, it's not hard to find things better to do than this. So it's a struggle at the moment, keeping the mojo and motivation up. So if you've got any positive words in the comments, would be much appreciated. All right. All right. So having a break, I will step away and work on parts of this gun. There we go. All right. So I'm going to get onto this when I come back. I don't know what I'll be showing you, but it'll be progress of some sort. All right. Back shortly. Okay. So moving on to the next part is the top of the turret here, where we've got there's got to be a couple of guns going on this, it looks like. So what we want to do is inside there is a hatch there, which I've decided to have closed, and then there's a bracket that sits in there when it's closed. It's very tricky on the instructions to see how that positions in there, but you should be able to figure it out. It's just that the 2D drawing, I guess, doesn't really make much sense, and the part that goes on there doesn't even look like the part you take off the sprue to put there in the picture. So anyway, it's going to be closed. There's a clear part for it, which I've marked on the instructions to be used later. But I don't think I'll even need to use that. It'll go on the inside. The idea is that this will come off. I'm not going to glue this on. I don't even know if it's supposed to or not, but I want this to be able to be removed. So we want to make sure we get as much detail done all on the inside here as much as on the outside, because you will be able to see it when I take it off. And when I say take it off, I mean this is still on the sprue, but that's the sort of the, you know, I don't know the name of that, but that's what it's going to sit on, I think. I'm pretty sure that's going to sit on there. So this will go into the tank at the top, and this will go on top of there. And this definitely comes out, but I also want to be able to take this off as well to see all the detail of the machine gun that's going to be on here, and all the detail that's going to be down in here as well. In this, I call it a tub. All right, so there we go. So yeah, I'm working on this. I haven't touched these yet. Yeah, but gradually you'll probably see this filling up as I gradually clean them all up, and haven't even started those yet. Let's not go there. So now I've done step 88, which is that part, and this part can be put aside. I was wondering whether I need to paint this or not, but I don't think I do. We'll check. Once this gun goes on here, which when you see I'm going to be working on this next. So all that's got to be done. And then when it's all finished, it just pops onto there. So that means that this done in the olive drab can all be done in one shot. So I don't need to spray that now. I can spray when that's on because it's all going to be the same color. This part on the top here, you just see what that's going to look like. See, we've got a lot of bits and pieces to go inside inside of this, so there's no point just trying to paint that white now when there's parts to go inside there. And it looks like a lot of those parts are going to be all white. There are some shell casings that go in there that'll be a different color, but otherwise it's going to be probably a situation of just putting them all in, then spraying them after. This is the tub, working on that tub. Obviously there's going to be a lot of artillery down in there. And there's, not even getting far ahead here, but there's a ring that goes on there. That's why I just noticed it didn't fit too well, but there's a ring that goes on there. And that's where there's a seat. There's all sorts of stuff to go in there. I'm just trying to see what this piece at the top looks like. And yeah, it does look like we don't need to paint anything yet, because once that goes on the tank, it can be all painted all together. Because if we go to the end of a sneak preview there, that's going on, and that's going on there, and then the whole thing pops in there. So that, I mean, once that's on there, then we can spray. There's no point airbrushing anything until that last step is done. Yeah. Of course, the insides of these will be white and detailed, so I'll be able to work on those. And this area here will also probably be white, just because when it comes out, you want it to look properly, look right. So, yeah, that's all good, isn't it? Oh, the dramas of this build is just so detailed. It's amazing. All right. So, yeah, I'll put this aside now and start getting some pieces out of the gun and psych myself up to keep going on this. All right. Okay. Back shortly. All right. Back with a bit of progress. I've got this gun put together. Very, very tiny parts. I'll give you a bit of a tip. The two sides that go on here, the locating points on the plastic down in here are just so small that it's better if you just put one side on. You'll find one side goes on easier than the other. Once that side's on, the other one, just line it up here. See, this is the two sides here. So just line it up down the center there, and you'll know it's in the right spot here. And then once you're holding it there, just touch your glue in there and set it, and you can make your little adjustments and make sure it's all good. And then come along here and just line that up perfectly and put your little CA glue through there, little cement glue into that, and it's fine. This little bit of photo etch just bends in 2 spots and just goes across. And there's also a cartridge here for ammunition that sits in there. And of course, this will all be white, except for the, I guess you'd call that the main muzzle of this machine gun on the side here. It looks like it's going to be like a gunmetal color, going by the instructions there. So there you go. That piece is done. That completes it to step 90. So what we've done now, bring this in, is right. So now we've put those 2 sides together, put these parts on. There's our photo etch piece on top. The side mounted gun goes on there, and that's what the result is left with. Now we're building this part here, which is all this complicated area here. This will attach, and this is where the gun's going to point through by the looks of it, going by that. Yeah, so they're saying number 90, which is this complete, will poke through there. And there's also, it looks like a clear part for a side window on that. So we're going to put this part together now, number 91. There's quite a few bits. Notice that everything, just about everything is color is number 1, which is the off-white, other than number 7, which was, looks like we've got a little piece of metal here that is used to, like the, you know, when you want to change the angle and all the teeth on that. So that's going to be a gunmetal, same as the end of the gun was. All right. Everything else is white, which means we can do everything white and then come back and touch all these up with a brush. That's the best way to do that. All right. So now I'll get on to 91 here and get this thing put together, and we'll be back after that. Okay. Hey there, back again, and just putting these parts together here. Very detailed. So this little piece here with the teeth on it fits at an angle next to this piece that sits in next to it. Sorry, I'll leave it down there so it's focused. All right, there we go. So that piece is attached and that goes on. What you do is you put that piece on first and then make sure that sits in there at the right angle in there, and then glue it on. These have some clamps at the bottom sections that go in there, and then we've got 2. One will go there and one will go there, and one will go there. Oh no, that one goes on the end there, and then the whole thing, well, it should now fit. Take a look. That's going to drop into there. You just turn it around so it sits down like that. There we go. So that piece now will go on the end of there. Okay, and then these 2 will sit on the top of those 2 in there. And then I can call that piece done, I think. Just having a... Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the gun goes through. Oh, I see. So there is a small hole in there where the gun that we made up before, if I can just grab that, where'd it go? And do a quick check. That is going to go in there. In there. All right. It does fit in that hole. That's the important thing. It fits through there. So yeah, there we go. That's going to go in there. All right. But we'll not get ahead of each other. Let's not get it too far ahead, but yeah. All right. But you just got to be so accurate with your pieces. Like, make sure everything is fitting spot on. Otherwise, somewhere down the line of attaching things, something won't line up properly and you'll have a problem. So, all right. So I'll finish this piece off, and then we'll have a look at what we've got to do next. Be back in a sec. Now, just before anybody glues these parts together, I just noticed something. So this piece does not get glued in there, okay? This just sits in there and it doesn't get glued. And also, these pieces, although they do get glued on, like the little connection points in there, don't glue it to that shaft between the two, okay? So that shaft in between there, all right, don't let the glue get onto that, because it does look like that this thing does turn. All right, we've just got to connect these in there. So just going to need a really accurate bit of glue going in there, and it should be okay. So what I would do is I would put some CA glue, tiny bit of CA glue on those ends and put them in place, just so you know they're not going to come off and it's not going to go anywhere you don't want it to go. All right. If I use cement glue, it's just going to go everywhere and there's no way it'll be able to move. So there we go. All right, I will do this. This one gets glued in. That one's okay on the end there. But of course, just looking, yeah, you just don't want to get glue on that surface there, just where it attaches to the plastic. So what I would do is I will put this in there now, like that. Okay. All right, I'll come back when it's all done shortly. All right, so more progress. As you can see here, we've done that on the back there, got it in position. Glue just in the tiny little spots there, and this thing does rotate. So we've got that looking, that's working fine. I've put the gun through in its position. I don't know if I'll glue it in yet. We'll see. I'll just leave it as it is for now. It's in there quite tight. This does go up and down the full range, which is really good. There you go. Nothing's binding or anything's hitting anything, so that's good. This piece here goes on the back as well, but it needs a clear part added to it. So I can't do that until after it's painted, so that will go into the bits and pieces for later. Here's the main barrel that's going to go. I've just taken off, so I haven't trimmed it up yet at all, but that's going to go on there like that. Okay, I'll clean that up, and that piece there that looks like a bit of scrap plastic offcut is actually a piece that does sit under the barrel in that little spot there. Incredible, isn't it? So yeah, I think that is the smallest part I've come across in the kit so far. Yeah, that's going to go in there. All right, so I'll do that, and yeah, we're progressing really well. We'll come back when these are on and have another look at it in a second. Okay, back again, and a bit more progress. So I've just test fitted and put this on the front of the top of the tank here, and beautiful fit, goes on really nicely. This will go up and down. Look at that, nice and smooth. So I'm happy with that. I've glued that on so it's nice and straight, and obviously that's got to go in there yet. You can see all the detail underneath, and there's a lot more stuff to go in there as well. So what I'll do is I'll take that back off. You can see how that comes off like that. I will be gluing that in, okay, so there's no problem doing that. So that will go in there sort of like that. Properly, I'll get that in, so that's going to go in, and good to go. That brings us right up to step 92 done, which is really good. So what I'm going to do now, there is on the side of here, on the side of the gun, I'm just trying to look at which way they've got it orientated in the instructions, sort of that way. So on the side there's a little box that goes in there that's got to be painted number 5, and number 5 is, look at that. Okay, so whereas everything in there is going to be the off-white, that's going to be olive drab. So what I'll do is I'll take that little box off the sprue and put that aside with the other parts to be added later, like this that needs the clear part. All right, and that's all good. There's going to be, when it comes to painting, there'll be a lot of little extra bits to be added. There's lots of glass pieces and other bits that had to be done separately. But yeah, all good. That actually fits so well that even though they do say to glue it in, we'll see how things go. I might just leave it and sit it in there like this without gluing it. You know, there may be even an option with magnets. I do have some very, very tiny magnets, and maybe I can utilize them in some way. That way I wouldn't need to glue it in. Anyway, all right. Anyway, that's it. I'll finish this video up. We're running out of time. I've got heaps of these to do, as you can see. You know, if anyone's got some spare time, I'll pop, you know, a few dozen in an envelope and send them to you, because that'd be great if you could help out. Clean these things up. No, it's all right. I'll do this. Hopefully between now and the next video, I'll have some of that progressed a bit more. All right, so all good. Thank you all. Don't forget, subscribe. You can join. Other ways to contribute to the channel down in the description below. Don't forget to join our Facebook group, where you can post what you're doing and share with us, with everybody. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now. Cheers.